Good morning, good morning. I waited a couple minutes and let people come in. I went live a little early, so. Using my logo cup. Thank you, Christina, for buying or for making them, and to my twin sister for buying them for us. I'm drinking white chocolate mocha. All right, thank you, Lily, for letting me know you can see and hear me. Oh, it's been a day. It's been a day. Went for a walk at 8:30 this morning. It was starting to get warm. It's supposed to be up to 96 or 97 today. Yay. Not really. I'm lucky I'm not at work today. Those buildings get hot. So. Okay, Lily. Start the meeting at 11. Got 1 minute left. This hat's gonna drive me crazy. I like dream catchers. I've had this one forever. I think I got this one from my nanny when she passed on. I might be wrong, but yeah. Of course, work hat for the husband. Anyway, I've got to send the link to her. So hold on a minute. My sponsor is not computer or phone savvy, so I'm getting it. He says, "Where's the link?" I'm getting it. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. Let's see. No, I don't want those. My phone is being nuts. Well, let me go on it. Okay. Let's go to share. Text message. Here we go. Here you go. There's the link. Anyway, what I was saying was, um, I don't know how how you figure out how to do it every day without me sending you the link, but you're here. Thank you for coming. Anyways, let's go ahead and get it going. I'm Sandra, and I'm an alcoholic. I need these to see. Please be respectful in the chat. Not everybody here is an alcoholic. They might be here as support or as someone that wants to learn how and ways that they can maybe help a family member who's alcoholic. But you can use the AA for everything, pretty much. And so just be respectful and don't be judging each other or harassing other people's channels about them being alcoholics, because that's not cool. That's not why I do these meetings. And with that, I will go ahead and start with the Serenity Prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Every time I say it, I think I want to say it works if you work it. But you say that at the end. Anyways. So if you don't have a book, it's all right. I'm going to read it. And I always put in the description what book we're reading, what story or tradition or step we are working on reading. And I put the page number as well. So if you have a book, great. You can follow along. If not, if you have something else you're doing, you can just listen. And you don't have to be in the chat. I completely understand not wanting everybody to know about your issue if you're here for that. So, anyways. 1, we admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. 2, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. 4, made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5, admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 6, we're entirely ready to have God remove all these defective characters. 7, humbly asked Him to remove our shortcomings. 8, made a list of all persons we had harmed and become willing to make amends to them all. 9, made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 9. No, I already read 9. 10, continue to take personal inventory and when wrong, promptly admit it. 11, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. 12, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all our affairs. Tradition 1, I will be able to cite these without reading them soon enough. 1, our common welfare should come first. Personal recovery depends upon AA unity. 2, for our group purpose, there is but one ultimate authority, a loving God as He may express Himself in our group conscience. Our leaders are but trusted servants. They do not govern. 3, the only requirement for AA membership is a desire to stop drinking. 4, each group should be autonomous except in matters affecting other groups or AA as a whole. 5. Each group has but one primary purpose: to carry its message to alcoholics who still suffers. 6. An AA group ought never endorse, finance, or lend the AA name to any related facility or outside enterprises, lest problems of money, property, and prestige divert us from our primary purpose. 7. Every AA group ought to be fully self-supporting, declining outside contributions. 8. Alcoholics Anonymous should remain forever non-professional, but our service center may employ special workers. 9. AA as such ought never be organized, but we may create service boards or committees directly responsible to those they serve. Alcoholics Anonymous has no opinion on outside issues, hence the AA name ought never be drawn into public controversy. 11. Our public relations policy is based on attraction rather than promotion. We need always maintain personal anonymity and at the level of press, radio, and films. 12. Anonymity is the spiritual foundation of all our traditions, ever reminding us to place principles before personalities. I don't know why the traditions are so tongue-tying, but they are. A lot of us get tongue-tied on it. Anyways, so we are on tradition 4, my least favorite one, when I first started AA. Each group, or step 4, sorry, is the worst one. Not the tradition. My bad, sorry. Each group should be autonomous except in matters affecting other groups or AA as a whole. Autonomy is a $10 word, but in relation to us, it means very simply that every AA group can manage its affairs exactly as it pleases, except when AA as a whole is threatened. Comes now the same question raised in Tradition 1. Isn't such liberty foolishly dangerous? Over the years, every conceivable deviation from our 12-step and 12 tradition has been tried. That was sure to be, since we are so largely a band of ego-driven individualists. True. Children of chaos, we have defiantly played with every brand of fire only to emerge unharmed, and we think wiser. These very deviations created a vast process of trial and error, which, under the grace of God, has brought us to where we stand today. When AA's traditions were first published in 1946, we had become sure that an AA group could stand almost any amount of battering. We saw that the group, exactly like the individual, must eventually conform to whatever tested principles would guarantee survival. We had discovered that there was perfect safety in the process of trial and error. So confident of this had we become that the original statement of AA tradition carried the significant sentence, "Any 2 or 3 alcoholics gathered together for sobriety may call themselves an AA group, provided that as a group they have no other affiliations." I do have my my YouTube channel, but I also do these meetings, so this meant, of course, that we had been given the courage to declare each group or each AA group an individual entity, strictly reliant on its own conscience as a guide to action. In charting this enormous expanse of freedom, we found it necessary to post only to storm signals. A group ought not do anything which would greatly injure AA as a whole, nor ought it affiliate itself with anything or anybody else. There would be real danger should we commence to call some groups wet, others dry, still others Republican or Communist, and yet others Catholic or Protestant. The AA group would have to stick to its course or be hopelessly lost. Sobriety had to be its sole objective. In all other respects, there was perfect freedom of will and action. Every group had the right to be wrong. When AA was still young, lots of eager groups were forming in a town we'll call Middleton. I lived in Middleton, Idaho. A real crackerjack had started up. The townspeople were as hot as firecrackers about to stargazing. The elders dreamed of innovations. They figured the town needed a great big alcoholic center, a kind of pilot plant AA group could duplicate everywhere. Beginning on the ground floor, there would be a club. In the second story, there would be sober up drunks and hand them currency for their back debts. The third deck would house an education project, quite non-controversial, of course. And in imagination, the gleaming center was to go up several stories more, but 3 would do for a start. This would all take a lot of money, other people's money. Believe it or not, wealthy townsfolk bought the idea. There were, though, a few conservative dissenters among the alcoholics. They wrote the Foundation AA headquarters in New York, wanting to know about this sort of streamlining. They understood that the elders, just to nail their things down good, were about to apply to the Foundation for a charter. These few were distributed and skeptical. Of course, there was a perimeter in the deal. A super promoter. By his eloquence, he allayed all fears. Despite advice from the Foundation, that it could issue no charter, and that ventures which mixed an AA group with meditation and education. Medication, sorry, not meditation. Hi, Bank to come to sticky ends elsewhere to make things safer. The permit meter. I hate words I don't know how to say. Organized 3 corporations and became presidents of them all. Freshly painted, the new center shone. The warmth of it all spread through the town. Soon things began to hum. To ensure foolproof continuous operation, 61 rules and regulations were adopted. The A-list, this bright scene was not long in darkening. Confusion replaced serenity. It was found that some drunks yearned for education, but doubted if they were alcoholics. The personality defects of others could be cured, maybe with a loan. Some were club-minded, but it was just a question of taking care of the lonely heart. Sometimes the swarming applicants would go for all 3 floors. Some would start at the top and come through to the bottom, becoming club members. Others started in the club, pitched a binge, were hospitalized, then graduated to education on the 3rd floor. It was a beehive of activity, all right, but unlike a beehive, it was confusion compounding. An AA group as such simply couldn't handle this sort of project. All too late, that was discovered. Then came the inevitable explosion. Something like that day, the boiler burst in Wembley Clapper factory. A chill choke damp of fear and frustration fell over the group. When they lifted, a wonderful thing had happened. The head promoter, there's that word, wrote the foundation office. He said he wished he'd paid some attention to AA experience. Then he did something else that was to become an AA classic. It all went on a little card about golf score size. The cover read, Militant Group Number 1, Rule 62. Once the card was unfolded, a single pungent sentence leaped to eye. Don't take yourself too damn seriously. Thus it was that under Tradition 4, an AA group had exercised its right to be wrong. Moreover, it had performed a great service for Alcoholics Anonymous because it had been humbly willing to apply the lesson it learned. It had picked itself up with a laugh and gone on to better things. Even the chief architect, standing in the ruins of his dream, could laugh at himself, and that is the very acme of humility. Now this one I like where it says, don't take yourself too damn seriously. Because sometimes in life, I've had it happen to me too. I'm sure everybody has. Things don't go as planned. Hi, Lance. Long time no see. Hope you're doing good. But if you're taking everything so seriously and stuff happens to get in your way of what you planned, why get mad? Why? It doesn't do any good to get mad. It doesn't do any good to sit there and cry. I mean, I need to start taking my own advice because I do cry about things that I shouldn't, but that's also part of depression and anxiety and having panic attacks. But when AA started all that they did, they were not all sure on how to do things. And when you can come to a issue in your group or in your life of any sort, it doesn't make sense to work yourself up. And I know I'm speaking to somebody. Just laugh it off. If somebody is pissing you off, laugh it off. Just don't let it get to you. It's not worth it. Just laugh about it and go on about your day. You know, I'm frustrated already and I just started work. And I didn't go to work on Sunday because it's Saturday, and it's just, I don't know, it got to me. It really got to me, and I was bullheaded and decided I wasn't going to work on Sunday. And on Saturday and Sunday morning, I really didn't care. And then I was thinking, well, actually, I do, because I need to help out around here. And I got to talk to my sponsor yesterday. I went and visited with her and got perspective on that and other things going on um, around home and just life in general. But I can't sit here and dwell upon those days, the bad days, because even on those bad days that I was sitting and I was crying and I was ticked off, I still took time to laugh because life isn't going to always go your way. You can't control everything. And it's hard to remember that all you can control is yourself. You can't go and tell so-and-so that you have to do this, and, except for in the working environment, then the bosses can do that. But they still have to be respectful. Supposed to be, anyway. So I think that Tradition 4 explains it greatly. You have these ideas, you have these plans, and then something happens. You can't change it. You can't change it if it unless if it is with you. You can laugh about it and go about living life as best as you can in ways that make you happy. And I do AA every single day. in my mind every single day. And anytime somebody has, like, I'll use an example. Someone in my family will or used to say, well, I had a drink just a couple days ago. And I'll be like, I really don't care if you had a drink today. I'm not drinking, and that's what I can control. And I can just carry on a conversation with that person and laugh with that person and, just be happy. And because I'm spending time with that person in my family. But then again, you have family members or friends that you can't stand to be around because they are drinking and they don't know when to quit. And that's the alcoholic, is you don't know when to quit. I know I'm not going to start. I'm not going to go back to that and be somebody that I even didn't like. Because when I was drinking, I was not a great person. I I did still care about people, but I was not a great person to my family, to my friends. I lost most of my friends at that point, or what I thought were friends anyway. But you gotta keep going. You gotta get past the bad and live in the good. The good days are better than being pissed off at people that you can't do anything about and things and situations you can't do anything about. For me, when I'm in a situation that I don't think I want to be in, I leave. I'm gone. See ya. And everybody knows that. That's what I'm going to do. If they get to me, I'm gone, and they know it. I've done it more than 10 fingers. You know, uh, I get into a argument with a family member, and I'm like, well, I'm going. See you later. And because of AA, I've learned that I need to make my amends right after I have an attitude like that. And um, yeah. So I hope everybody's having a great day today. It's hot outside today, and I only walked once. So I did a workout, and having my coffee for the afternoon. Cheryl, I know you're having a difficult week. I'm praying for you, my friend. Hope it gets better. Remember what you say about if you see someone without a smile, give them yours. Here's mine. I love you, my friend. We all have issues, and we all can work through them. Just hope that if there's a new person watching this as a replay, please know that there is help everywhere. Um, you just have to want it for you. And you can achieve sobriety and stay sober and live a great life with or without money, in a relationship or not. Uh, it doesn't matter. You can get sober and stay sober. Um, it works. Yeah. Well, AA's been the best gift I've gotten my whole life, besides my kids. My kids are number one in everything. You're welcome, Cheryl. All right, I'm going to read the daily reflection. So, let's see, August 12th. It's a good day today. It's somebody's birthday, not mine. Don't give it away, sis. Oh, look backwards. Something I don't like doing. I do not like looking backwards. First, we take a look backwards and try to discover where we have been at fault. Next, we make a vigorous attempt to repair the damage we have done. 12 Steps, 12 Traditions, page 77. As a traveler of a fresh and exciting AA journey of recovery, I experienced a newfound peace of mind, and the horizon appeared clear and bright. Sorry. Rather than obscure and dim. Reviewing my life to discover where I had been at fault seemed to be such an arduous and dangerous task. It was painful to pause and look backwards. I was afraid I might stumble. Couldn't I put the past out of my mind and just live in my new golden present? I realized that those in the past whom I had harmed stood between me and my desire to continue my movement towards serenity. I had to ask for courage to face those persons from my life who still lived in my conscience, to recognize and deal with the guilt that their presence produced in me. I had to look at the damage I had done and become willing to make amends. Only then could a journey of the Spirit resume. Amen to that. Anyways, let's say the prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Keep coming back. It works if you work it. I love you guys. Be safe out there. Stay sober. And remember, you're worth it every single day. And if you're struggling, if you're suffering, there's help. There truly is help everywhere. Don't be afraid to reach out to somebody and ask for help. Thank you for being here.